What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS3 Raw TV. Today we're going to talk about something that keeps coming up, and I figured I'd give an example of this because, you know, a lot of people over and over again, they're coming to me, especially now the new year started, 2015. People are saying, you know, I'm going to start off my new goals, my new physique, my new body. I'm going to do everything new. Let's get it going. And they have trainers and coaches that they've hired. And going through the end of 2014, they may not be happy with them. So next thing you know, they're looking for a new coach, new trainer, and then they're hitting me and obviously other coaches up too, because they're looking for somebody new to work with. And I'm having to answer these questions over and over again because when I give them this information, they're like, well, why? And I say, okay, well, this is why. And I explain it to them. Some coaches don't do that. I don't mind doing it. I just type really shitty, so it may be a short email, and it may be misspelled fucking horribly, even with spell check. But the different types of carbohydrates we've talked about before, the wing nuts over and over again will say, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. And I find interesting is these wing nuts are the ones who get the slowest fucking progress and results out of anyone. And a lot of them blame it on I'm natural. And I was like, well, I was natural and I blew up to fucking 200 pounds and was extremely strong by the time I was 19. You know, what's your excuse now? You know, is your training protocol not optimal? Is your diet not optimal? And they go, oh, no, well, here's the key word, optimal. Are you doing things optimal? No, you're not. Are you doing things? Yes, you're doing things. Are you progressing and eking forward slowly? Yes, you're eking forward slowly. However, you're not progressing at the rate that you could because you really don't understand what's going on. And the information is out there. It's online. The problem is there's a lot of shit to sort through before you actually figure out what the fuck is going on. Back in the day, we had textbooks, and that's pretty much all you had to go by. You know, like the guy at the gym didn't know anything about biochemistry or biology, so basically if you wanted to find shit out, you had to go get those textbooks from the library, which were textbooks for schools, okay? So like universities, like I grew up around Brown University. I mean, Brown University is one of the biggest fucking medical schools in the goddamn country. I mean, what the fuck? Obviously, you know, you're going to go in there and find things that you couldn't find other places. But carbohydrate-wise, again, the wing nuts will say it doesn't matter. Now, could you take in any carbohydrate and eventually it's broken down to glucose and will be used what it needs to be used for? Yes. Is it optimal to take in any carbohydrate at any time to get it broken down to make sure that it does what it has to do? No, it's not optimal. Now, fructose is something that I guess some people hate it, some people love it, some people are impartial to it. Now, I personally think that it has its uses, and one of the uses that I think it has, the biggest use I think it has, is, and people should know this by now, fructose can actually restore liver glycogen better than a complex carbohydrate and faster, okay? So it's done faster and more optimal. It's easier for the body to do that. Now, complex carbohydrates can actually fill, and actually sugars too, can fill muscle glycogen a lot quicker than fructose can. Fructose has to be broken down, turned into glucose, and then after the liver glycogen stores are full, the fallover can go ahead and be used for the muscle glycogen. Now, that doesn't sound like the very optimal way, does it? No. But another thing people don't usually understand is going about your daily activities, you're not using a whole lot of muscle glycogen. You're really not. You're using a lot of liver glycogen to give your body energy to do what you're doing daily. So now, to me, it makes sense, okay? Optimally, let's look at logic, to take in fruit throughout the day to restore your liver glycogen throughout the day. So now you have liver glycogen stores that are, they're not going to be full because you don't need a shitload of fruit, but they're fuller than they would be. They're not depleted. And now you go work out. So you hit your training, you're training hard, and what happens is you hit that muscle glycogen that's being used over and over again while you're training. You know, you get an hour in, 2 hours, however long you train. You get out of the gym, why don't we skip the fruit now? Why not have the complex carbohydrates at this point? The ones that will store in the muscle faster to become muscle glycogen, to store in the muscle faster than it would if you took in fruit. So now you're looking at carbohydrate timing, and not timing where you're trying to spike insulin levels, you're trying to lower insulin levels, you're trying to get what is easiest for the body to break down. The body, survival-wise, wants to do what it's absolutely easiest to do. The more you try to make it do, the more you try to force it, the harder it is, the less results you're going to get, the slower progress you're going to get. That's just the way it is. So now, for the meal or two after your workout, complex carbohydrates are fed back in. And after that, usually it's, I mean, for me, it would be time for bed after like those 2 meals. I'd have like a third meal, maybe I would put the fruit back in. Or if I'm literally going to be sitting there playing Call of Duty, which is my new thing now, then I may not have any carbohydrates then. I mean, what do I really need them for? I've replaced liver glycogen, I've replaced muscle glycogen, you know, just for the hell of it, in case I feel like, I was doing some things after the gym, like moving around, going grocery shopping or whatever. Maybe I burned off some more liver glycogen. I'll go ahead and have a little more fruit with that last meal. Now, I've completely replenished my liver and muscle glycogen 2 different ways with 2 different carbohydrates. Is that optimal? Yes. And that person is going to see better results than the one person who's taking in all sugars or all complex carbohydrates or whatever the case may be. The body, you see, and here's another good example. Now, you're also forcing the body to do so because people are like, Jerry, the studies have also not done, the scientists have also not done studies based on someone who was trained extremely hard with weights and then used certain carbohydrates throughout the day to do this. Okay? I have. Other people I know have. Phil Herndon has. We have done this. And the body is constantly in a state of adaptation, and it constantly wants to replenish things that are depleted. Now, if you, the outside stimulus, okay, the weight training that you're going to be doing, is actually going to change the way your body reacts for a few hours after you're done. There's no doubt about that. Nobody questions that. Your body's not acting the same way after a workout as it was when you got up in the morning. It's completely different. Metabolism has increased. Hormones have changed. Storage hormones are kicking in like crazy if you're taking in those, those carbohydrates and stuff. So the actual stimuli of training the muscle is changing the way your body works for that period of time. So it makes sense to change the nutrition in that period of time. It's the same thing as if, outside of stimulus-wise, it's the same thing as if you're, just walking around here. Look, my skin has no cuts on it, no tears, no nothing. It's fine. But if you have an outside stimulus like a knife and you cut it, now what happens? Your body's first thing that it wants to do is heal that cut. First thing, like working out. You train your body. First thing it wants to do, it wants to heal the muscle fibers that are broken down. It wants to fill up the glycogen store. So you've essentially changed what your body's going to do for a certain period of time. Like your body's going to continue to heal and heal and heal from that cut. But a month from now, it doesn't continue to heal that same spot, build up this weird fucking scar tissue that sticks out to here. Like there's a point where your body will shut it down. You need to take advantage of that short period of time after the workout. And I'm not saying that there's a fucking post-workout window. I'm not saying that there's a 35-minute window. You have to hit your 35-minute window growth. I do believe there's about an 8-hour window after training that your body uses more oxygen. In turn, does burn more body fat. Oxygen is used to burn body fat. You need that. As well as increases metabolism for that period of time. So I do believe if you have your proteins and carbohydrates in certain amounts and certain types of carbohydrates, they are absolutely going to be used more efficiently after that period to try to restore everything that you've broken it down. I don't think anybody can argue with that. But I think that, these wing nuts, they claim it doesn't matter, but then they'll claim that, fructose does this, and it boggles my mind how I'm saying, like, you guys don't get it? I mean, you never really stop to think that most of your daily activities are converted liver glycogen. It's not really muscle glycogen, so why would you want to keep doing something where it has to try to break things down in an extra step to replace that liver glycogen when you can actually have fruit and it does it in the first step? Easiest thing you can get your body to do, better results you get. BioStraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biostraining.com is the site. It's to learn about it from books, Bicep, and we're out.